Howdy, everyone. I don't have too much exciting news to share at the moment. I just want to kind of gloss over again real quick where I am in the process of this engine rebuild. So I was able to get the case apart and pulled out the crankshaft and the camshaft and all the internal stuff. Now I'm working on the individual accessories disassembly. So this is the accessory case. There's a lot going on with this. I'm not going to touch it because I just washed my hands, and as you can see, it's still filthy with oil and whatnot. But you've got the oil pump in here and the gears, which are in this bag here. In here on the front side, I believe that was the oil pressure adjustment. And then on the front side, you've got different fittings and fixtures, things of this nature here. So I was just going through and disassembling everything on this. This has now been stripped clean, all the pipe plugs, all the fittings. This is done. You can see over here I've got the crankshaft and the camshaft. I'm leaving the connecting rods in place because I don't want to have to fool around with redoing the bearings for the connecting rods, and I don't want to buy new bolts for the end caps, so I'm leaving this intact as an assembly. This is my camshaft. These are all brand new. They look brand new. They are brand new, so I'm not fooling with them. Down here are the case halves, and again, these have been stripped of all the fittings and different things that get attached to them, the different pipe plugs. Inside here, there are a couple of pipe plugs, things of that nature. Of course, the crankshaft bearings have been removed. So these are stripped clean, and this is my oil sump. Just a couple of fittings. You can see down in there a couple of drain fittings. That's all there was on this that needed to come out. So now that's stripped clean. Fortunately for me, I have a place right down the street. Literally, it's about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 miles, if that, down the road. There's a very small company. It has 3 employees, and they do all kinds of aircraft type work. They do landing gear wheels and brakes and landing gear struts and all kinds of aviation stuff. And this guy, the owner of the company I've talked to, he does all the work mostly. He had done some work for me quite a few years ago when I had rebuilt my Continental A65 engine for my other airplane. And I talked to him on Friday on the way home from work. I swung by his shop, talked to him. So these different components, oh great, I see my battery's dying. These different aluminum components that have paint on them, I'm taking all of this stuff to him, and he's going to plastic bead blast and clean and get all of this stuff nice, perfectly cleaned and ready for paint. So I'm going to be taking him the accessory case, of course the 2 case halves, the sump, the cold air induction, all 4 cylinders, things of that nature. He's going to strip them and clean them up really well, and then I can get back. When I get him back, I'll do the assembly and the painting and all that stuff. So this stuff is probably going to go to him on Monday, so maybe by the end of the week I'll have him back, and I'll do some more videotaping at that point. But my battery's dying, so I'm going to cut this short, and when I've got something else to talk about, I'll come back. Talk to you later. See you. Howdy, everyone. Well, at least from my perspective, it's been a while since I've made any new videos, just because I really don't have a lot of content at the moment. Like I said in a previous video, of course, I'm still working on the rebuild of this engine. And like I said, this is not going to be any kind of step-by-step tutorial. This is just a very basic overview of what I'm doing to disassemble the engine, clean it, replace gaskets and seals, and then put it all back together. So that's really all I've been doing. I've got the individual cylinders here. These have all been stripped. These are ready to be plastic bead blasted so I can get this current color off and then repaint them the way that I want them to be. And like I said before, this is a new engine. It's what I consider to be new old stock. It was built in 2012 and run on a test stand and then never flown. It was never even installed on an airplane. So like I said, I'm just going through it to repaint it and to replace gaskets and seals and things of that nature. So these are all completely stripped and ready for plastic bead blasting so I can repaint them. I'm not going to do any detail photography or videotaping. I mean, if you want to see up inside the cylinders and you want to see the valves and things like that, I guess I could do that. But they are all brand new. The further I get into the engine, it's more and more clear that it is in fact a brand new engine. So right now I've worked on the alternator. I've just got it cleaned up. It's going to be boxed up and wait for reinstallation. I'm currently working on the starter. You can see some pieces, parts here of the starter. I've got it disassembled so I can better clean it. And I've got some push rod tubes there that are ready for paint. The other 4 push rod tubes are finished. I've got those painted. I just don't have them out in the open. But that's really all I'm doing at this point. I'm just doing basically component disassembly and cleaning and reassembly of the individual components. You can see I've got a box here of stuff that needs to be cleaned and polished and whatever. I've got some stuff here that's going to be dealt with. I've got another box back here that's got stuff in it I need to deal with. And of course I've got some stuff down in the basement. So again, nothing exciting. I'm just going component by component to disassemble it, clean it, and whatever needs to be done to it. The case halves are currently at the shop that I use to do the plastic bead blasting. Again, this is the crank and the cam. Yesterday I just ordered an overhaul gasket and seal kit, and I ordered new bearings for the crankshaft. Those are on the way. I'm hoping to get these case half back soon. The guy does good work, but he's super slow. He's basically doing my work as a side job. He's fully immersed in his own actual work that he needs to get done, so he's kind of fitting me in whenever he can. It's taken longer than I had hoped. I'd hoped by this point I'd have the case halves back and painted, but that's not the case. As it were. So when those case halves come back, I can go right to paint, and by then I'll have the new bearings and the seals and everything, and I've got new hardware. So when the case halves come back, paint, and I can go right to assembly. I can start assembling these different pieces, parts. Of course, I still have to take the cylinders to him. I guarantee you that's going to take a while for them to come back, but in the meantime, I'll just plug away at whatever I can. So I'll continue to do my thing, and if I come across anything worth videotaping, I'll do that and post it. Talk to you guys later.